Weak sentencing comes back to bite Kentaji Brown Jackson, but only for a little bit. They brought this up during the nomination hearings for Homegirl today, but it didn't matter. Like, none of this really matters. Joe Biden's nominee for the Supreme Court was under fire up until this vote about an hour ago for her leniency towards child predators. Again, nobody really cared, which is why all of these hearings are pretty much just bullshit. Mm-hmm. Same with Kavanaugh and everything else. And it's like, you know, you drug that out with the, who was it, Blasey Ford? Was that her fucking name?
I don't remember.
She was on the cover of Time magazine, for Christ's sakes. Just with the, and then she had the baby voice and all that stuff. With all of this shit, it's just a bunch of grandstanding. I mean, what are they actually hoping to find that the FBI or the CIA and all of their background checks, these extensive background checks that they did, that they didn't find? What are they hoping to find during any of these fucking hearings?
I mean, it's all about grandstanding, really. Like, you're trying to, from the White House's perspective, regardless of who's in the White House, they put out a short list of people. They leak a short list. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, we're thinking about these 3 or 4 people. And then you let the court of public opinion whittle that list down to 1 or 2 maybe. And then you decide who you're going to go with. And if you're on the opposition, you do opposition research and run polling. You know, like, as soon as the nominee is announced before the hearings ever start, you start saying things in public that you don't like about them and see how it polls with people and see if it polls cross party enough that people in the majority party would be offended enough by it to pressure their politicians to vote no. That's how you run that. Right?
Okay.
So, I mean, it seems like it's just kind of fucking pointless and for show, but there is a strategy to all this.
Boy, me personally, I'm tired of it. It's a waste of fucking money and time. And did you dip in for any of it at all?
No, I didn't watch a single second of this other than stuff I saw on Twitter.
I did. I popped in here and there as it was going on. And again, if you're a Republican, you're going after what you can. If you're a Democrat, just to say you did for the people.
Yeah, I mean,
if you're a Democrat, you're just kissing her ass.
To me, this wasn't really even about Judge Joe Jackson, I think her name is.
Is it a Joe? No. Is it a soft Joe?
No, I don't think this was really, for me, it wasn't really about her. It was about the point in the debate where her record, I think it was Holly from Missouri, that outlined all these fucking pedophiles that she's got. So the formula was this. There are the federal sentencing guidelines, and then these liberal prosecutors, many of whom were put into position by Soros. That's not a fucking conspiracy theory anymore. It is just a conspiracy, which is, those things are different. They would recommend about half of what the federal sentencing guidelines would recommend or would say, and then she would give them half of that. So she would generally come in around a quarter of the length of sentence that federal guidelines. And their response to that was twofold. One, everybody's doing it. It's not just her, right?
Right.
Which is not a response. And the second one is that because it's easier to get child pornography now, that people shouldn't get charged for each count. Like, it's easy to download 1,000 files, right? And you shouldn't get a count for each file. And my response to that is, not only should you get a count for that, but you should get murdered in the fucking street for that shit. So those are two of the most inane and ridiculous responses to an accusation, especially an accusation that involves the victimization of children, that I've ever fucking heard in my life. And it's shown me that our fucking judicial system and criminal justice system in this country is completely fucked and hopelessly broken, and I'm not going to pay a whole lot of attention to it moving forward. Yeah. That's what I got out of all this.
Yeah, and same. And what I can't figure out is, because this is pretty much, you could pare this whole nomination down to just that, right? Mm-hmm. I think that was the argument on the Republican side. You can't really pop her on anything else than that.
No, that's not true. She's in favor of packing the court. She wanted to expand. Like, she was made comments in favor of while Democrats have power expanding the court and then packing it with liberal justices. Absolutely.
Well,
that's a big fucking problem.
But all Democrats want that, right?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. So you lump her in on the Democratic side of that shit. The issue that I have is the pedophile thing, obviously. She didn't have an answer for any of these people, and they hammered her over and over and over again.
She didn't need an answer. All she said was, like, I don't know how. Kevin Sorbo had a great fucking tweet today. Let me see it.
K-Sorbs. Shout out to K-Sorbs. Friend of the show. Friend in real life.
This is one of the best. Yeah, he's a good dude. This is one of the best tweets I've seen in a long time. He said, saying you can't define woman because you're not a biologist is a really weird way of admitting that woman is defined by biology. Oops. My little thought experiment broke down right there. What happened? Yeah, but she wasn't able to answer any of this stuff because there is no answer for it. If the only answer to, like, let's say your kid's doing something stupid or you break the law and the cops show up and you just say, well, everybody was doing it. Mm-hmm. That's not exactly something to get you out of trouble. You're trying to diffuse or smooth the risk or result, right? That's not how that works.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So this woman is a piece of shit, and she's a piece of shit surrounded by other pieces of shit.